This is Taria Como, a new adventure game out now for the Playdate. What is the Playdate? Well, I'm glad you asked. The Playdate is a handheld console that kind of looks like an early Game Boy, but it's got a hand crank on the side that you can use for most of the games, including Taria Como. The creator of Taria Como, Kip Henderson, is actually a friend of mine, so I invited Kip over to check out the game and talk about how the unique challenges he's faced in his life influenced everything from the story and the themes to the gameplay.
So, Taria Como, it is the story of two sisters. The older sister, who you play as, is Taria, and she is on a journey to rescue her younger sister. The main character, Taria, has a prosthetic leg, so her jump is very limited. So, unlike other platformers where the main mechanic is jump, the main mechanic is the grapple. The pacing of it is sort of akin to Portal, which is very much a puzzle platformer, where you get into a room and you have to figure out, like, if I stand right here and then I attack right here, then I can complete the room. A lot of other grapple games are more fast-paced. This one has elements of that, but it's much more, let me figure this out. I came up with the idea, these are my characters, I did all of the artwork, I wrote the entire script for the game, I did about 90% of the level design, and then I hired on a programmer, or like a developer, a composer, and a sound designer.
If people don't know you, we are friends in real life, so I've heard the story, but if people don't know, give us the story behind your throat thing here, you got a little device here, and then what's going on with you, and why might there be some like medical care themes in the game?
Sure. Obviously my voice is different. I was born with Larsen syndrome, which is a multiple joint disorder, which basically means anything that can go wrong with my joints is going to go wrong. Foot surgery, knee surgery, hip surgery, back surgery. My arms only extend so far. I'm 5'2", which you probably can't tell. But I had all of that going on, and then when I was 22 months old, I went in for a minor procedure, and they were just removing a flap of tissue in my neck, and the oxygen tube was in the wrong place, and so when they moved the laser, my throat exploded. Because of that, I couldn't talk for the first 5 years of my life. I used sign language.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then the reason I couldn't talk is because my airway was completely closed up. And so eventually they stuck balloons down there and inflated it, so that my airway, I could actually get air past my vocal cords.
Okay.
Which was scarred, but I could start talking again.
Taria has a little, like a robot companion. Who's that?
We start off with the robot companion of Kit.
Kit.
And she is Taria's, homemade robot. The one that actually serves Taria's needs.
Okay.
After something happens, Taria will receive the companion of Dr. Pixie, who is basically everything wrong with doctors and nurses everywhere.
Okay, so there's a message behind that.
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
right.
yeah. Obviously, I've been in and out of the hospital a lot. First off, I'm not bitter. like there's so much good that can be said about doctors and nurses.
Sure.
I've had so many wonderful nurses and doctors, and there's at least one line of dialogue that pays homage to wonderful doctors and nurses. But there are just things that I've noticed that are frustrating and are irritating.
Okay.
This game touches on what it feels like to be talked down to, what it feels like to be denied certain medical assistance. It talks about predatory companies and the way that consumers or patients can get caught up in that. Our medical system, apart from other terrible stuff going on, all of corporations are really set up to serve the baseline or the average consumer.
Okay.
Whereas if you go back to 200 years, instead of buying a pair of shoes off the shelf, you go to a tailor that would measure your foot, and you'd actually have a relationship with the tailor, or with the cobbler.
Yeah.
Sorry, with the cobbler, and your shoes would be uniquely fitted to you. Disabilities are so unique and everyone is so different that one of the pitfalls of the current medical system is that they are catering they're not measuring your unique foot. You know,
Yeah.
the shoe is just off the shelf, and hopefully it fits you. The game touches on that of like human beings deserve to be treated like unique individuals, and the sad part is corporations often miss that.
So what's the best part of doing indie game development, and what's the hardest part of indie game development?
Oh man, I think the best part is just being able to work on a team.
Okay.
My background is in comic books, and that's very much a one-man show, or at least the way that I was doing it. It's a very one-man show. And so having a team of checking in 3 times a week, seeing all the progress that people have made, having that like spirit of collaborating, that's definitely one of my favorite parts. And then this game, actually, I partnered with Viola Davis's company, Groovy Productions.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh.
And so, they helped me get it all the way to Panic, which is the creator of the Playdate, which is the platform that it's on.
Okay.
They looked over the entire story. They consulted at every step of the process. That was the 5th component of getting this game made. The worst part, I think there's just a whole lot of different obstacles. It's stressful to pitch, and you have to, face a lot of rejection of we're gonna pass on this idea,
Yeah.
Also, because I'm not a coder, it does take time to build that relationship with whatever coder I am working on for any given project.
You mean to kind of translate your vision into actually something that's going to be on the screen or going to be playable?
Yeah, I mean, so it's translating the vision, and then it's also just building trust. And it just takes a bit of time to figure out the process for iterating. What ideas does the coder bring to the table? What ideas do I bring to the table? How do we get the best of both things into the game? And thankfully, this game was coded by a guy named Cesar, who now is a friend, and he did an incredible job. It was a joy to work with him, and I definitely hope to keep working with him. This all started when I was invited to the actual location of the Groovy production house, and I met with their head of interactive content at the time. His name is Josh Nelson Yusuf. He's a great friend. I love that guy. But this is my first time meeting him, and he had shot down all my other game ideas, and then was
a good friend would.
Yeah. And then he was scrolling through my Instagram and saw these 2 characters, this unique relationship, and you could tell there's a story behind them. I know Groovy is always looking to tell stories representing different minorities, and so instantly those 2 characters jumped out at Josh. And he said, oh my gosh, who are these? We have to make a game out of them. And so at that time I'd never, I didn't go to school for gaming, I'd never thought of a career in gaming, but meeting with Josh and him seeing the potential in those 2 characters, literally changed the entire course of my life.
Wow.
Yeah. And that took a couple years, and at the time I was working for Zach King, developing that story idea while working for Zach. And then when his company went in a different direction and let me go, Zach was kind enough to return the IP of these characters to me, because I've been working on it on his salary time, and so incredibly generous. So
that's really So
I mean, this
game
would not be where it is without the generosity of Zach King.
I was just talking about this not long ago in a video. Video games in particular, I think, have a really great opportunity to tell a story with a message, because in a deeper sense, because there's an interactive nature to it, right? You're not just watching someone's story, which can be totally powerful, but you're actually taking part in someone's story. So in a way, in some small way, they're taking part in your story and kind of what you've been through.
Absolutely. I was recently on a call with other disabled artists, but they were mostly playwrights, and they were lamenting it's so hard to get the audience to connect to the disabled story on the stage. Hopefully, people will really connect to this game, and the playtesters are really connected. And I think part of that is you are playing as Taria.
Yeah.
You are feeling what it feels like to have your jump taken away, or have these like limitations that now you are facing. And so I think you're absolutely right. Like, video games provide this really unique space to build empathy with somebody else's story because you're actually playing as that character.
So thanks for joining me in exploring Taria Como, and a special thanks to Kip Henderson for his time. If you want to keep up with what he's up to, go to his Instagram at Kip Henderson Art, and let me know below if you like this little review/interview thing. I don't know many game developers, but if you guys want more of this, I'm sure I can figure it out. Subscribe for more, hit the like button, yada yada yada, and until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.